Well, it's been nearly 6 weeks since the Central Coast Mariners last played here at their home venue of Plume Park. 6 weeks can be an absolute eternity in football terms, but they finally return here on Sunday afternoon for this round 12 clash as they play host to Sutherland Sharks FC. Absolute pleasure to have your company wherever it is you may be watching from this afternoon. Pete Pryor with you on the call. Let's get to the team news because there is just a bit of it for both of these sides. For the hosts, the Mariners Academy, 4 changes from last week's defeat against St George. Out drop Michael Paragalli, Adam Hall, Alex Guntunis and Dylan Pariah-Cullen. It's going to be a debut this afternoon for their new signing Parker Williams, who picked up an injury in the off-season. Burley centre-half signed in pre-season from Western United. And potentially a first appearance for the season off the bench for number 9, Nico Duarte as well. Let's take you through the full starting 11, of course. In goal returns number 1, Jack Wachowski. Number 4, operating at centre-half, will be Andre Parks. The 5, Harry Menem. 8 and captain, Lucas Shikluna. The 10, the Mariners' top goal scorer so far this season, Lucas Smythe. 11, Don Neonkuru. 12, Tay Headley. 16, Prayag Tapa. 22, Rocco Smith. 34, as we said, will be Parker Williams. And 37, of course, Bailey Brantman. On the bench for the hosts this afternoon, the reserve goalkeeper, of course, Dylan Pariah-Cullen. Number 2, Michael Paragalli. Number 3, Cher Deng is rested again this week. Number 6, Jordan Small. Number 9, as we said, with the chance to make his first appearance for 2024, Nico Duarte. And 39, Adam Hall. For the away side this afternoon, Sutherland's swimming up the freeway. Well, not much swimming going on, of course. It is beautiful blue skies all across the Central Coast and up and down much of the eastern seaboard at the moment. Of course, in goal, the ever-present number 1, off-season signing Nenad Vekic. Number 2, Kitara Katsuta. The 4 and captain, Mitchell Stamatelis. Number 5, Takahide Umabachi. The 6 will be Samuel Golisano. Number 9, goal scorer last week, Max Green. 10, Mason Fernandez. 11, Jay McGowan. 14, Chris Lindsay. 15, Matthew Morrich. And 91, Jonty Bush. So 2 changes to the starting 11 for Sutherland, who get us underway here at Plume Park for round 12 action. And immediately turn the ball over to their hosts, the Mariners, playing across the back here with Williams. First touch of the new season in his new colours. Turns 19 this year, as we said, off-season signing from Western United. Left-footed centre-half, very imposing figure at 6'2", with probably a bit to go as well. Here he is again, Williams, and now Menem, using the full width of the pitch here. Back to Williams, back with Parks. Shikluna is bundled off it. Very imposing at the heart of defence, both Andre Parks and Parker Williams. As we said, Williams about 6'2". Parks, I think, coming in about 6'4" in the old numbers. Here is Parks. Rocco Smith with a little drop of the shoulder and shifts gears. Flick around the corner from Smythe for Neonkuru, who's got oodles of pace. Driven into the area in the direction of Headley. Cleared just about by Stamatelis. That was Matthew Morrich, who was one of the 2 changes that we mentioned. Coming into the side this week alongside Chris Lindsay. Out drop Jacob Garner and Matthew Jackson. It's not been going the way that either side would hope up to this point so far in the season. Long raking crossfield ball from Stamatelis. Rocco Smith standing firm. They look to recycle, but they've just turned it over in the middle of the park to Brantman. Now Neonkuru. Loves driving at defenders, does Don Neonkuru. It's a cheap turnover, though. Easy for Kitara Katsuta. And, well, it's all a bit agricultural out there on that far touchline. Jay McGowan willing to come over and get involved. The free kick going the way of the hosts in the end. Shikluna to deliver from the set piece, as he so often does. As we said, the big timber coming forward in the form of Parks and Parker Williams. Lucas Smythe's not exactly a shrinking violet. It is towards Smythe, flicked on to Williams. His first sight at goal for 2024. I think it probably came at him a little bit more quickly than he may have expected, in fairness. Tough to get the direction on it when it does come at you that quickly. But an early sighter for the Mariners. Who, as we said, are in search of just their second win of the season. Their last win was at this venue. It's all the way back on the 5th of March. Nearly 2 months without a win for these young Mariners. Not for want of trying, though. Here's Neon Kuru. Runs into trouble in the form of Chris Lindsay. They've just left an arm out there as well. Neon Kuru on his way through for good measure. Free kick for Sutherland, which will be taken by Chris Lindsay. All the way back with Nenad Vekic. So experienced between the sticks, the Sutherland Gloveman. One of over 12 new signings in the pre-season for Sutherland as they work this one in towards Katsuta. Dealt with just about, and the Mariners play their way out. They want to be quick in transition, but referee Carl Davies has called play to a halt. Just to check on the welfare of Katsuta there. It looked like he did take a bit of a whack to the head for his troubles. Sutherland able to maybe breathe a bit of a sigh of relief there, as there's potential for 3-on-3 if the Mariners were quick enough in transition. Well, as we were saying, Sutherland's Nenad Vekic, experienced Gloveman, had some time over in Hong Kong. That was many, many years ago, but has since plied his trade at the likes of Blacktown and Marconi. Making the trip south to Sutherland this year. Or to the southern suburbs of Sydney, I should say, rather. Here's Shikluna for the Mariners. Closed down to great effect by Mason Fernandez, and the ricochet falls kindly for Fernandez, shifting one way and the other, and then firing beyond Jack Wachorski to give Sutherland an early lead here at Plume Park. It was fantastic work, in fairness to Mason Fernandez. His second of the season. His last goal as well, in a positive sign for Sutherland, came in their last victory as well, that 2-1 victory over Hills United back in round 9. Just their 9th goal for the season, if you can believe it, for Sutherland. It's come early here at Plume Park. Mariners with plenty of time to try and play their way back into it, but not like that, they won't. Turned over cheaply. Katsuta just looking to recycle now with Jonty Bush. Jay McGowan just running out of room on the far touch line. Here's Neon Kuru. Tried the aerial route for Tay Headley, who's now going to apply the press on Umabachi. Stamatellis carrying it forward from the heart of defence. Runs into a brick wall. wearing yellow, and Menem able to recycle all the way back to Wachorski and Rocco Smith now. Menem wants it on this near touch line. He's made a run forward as well, looking to get him behind. Parker Williams just kept going forward and forward and forward, and was eventually bundled off it by Max Green. Green, as we said, scored last week as well. That one ended in defeat. He scored very early. About 5 minutes or so into the first half. Manly just going bang bang towards the tail end of that first half and managing that one out as well. Vekic in no mood to play out from the back, goes long. The flag's up on this near touch line. There is a Sutherland player who, again, is feeling the after effects of that challenge from Andre Parks. As we said, the two Mariners centre halves are not exactly shrinking violets. In fact, my apologies, it was Parker Williams coming across there in the aerial challenge against Max Green, who's come off worse for wear. We will get back underway, of course, with a Mariners free kick. In any case, as Green was offside, the long ball from Vekic. Nothing to show for his scars of war. He's back on the pitch anyway. Back up and about his Max Green. Shikluna. Williams. Exchanging passes with Andre Parks, living somewhat dangerously here, the Mariners. That press just kept coming from Sutherland, eventually able to get it over halfway, but only momentarily. It's taken off the toe of Shikluna by Stamatellis. And now Gulisano tried to fashion an angle, but Shikluna closing down the passing lanes. So they will look to recycle here. Katsuta goes across the back for Chris Lindsay. Wide it goes to McGowan. Green just lets it run, allowing Parks to steal in there. Andre Parks just running out of room though at the end of it. Across the back it goes. Umabachi clipping one forwards for Gulisano. Menem comfortably, I should say, able to deal with that one. Just hooking that one back over his shoulder. Out into touch though. Again, it's Lindsay looking to switch the points of attack to this near touch line. And again, it's Menem who is touch tight on Gulisano. Clipped clear in the direction of Smythe. Used his body well to hold off the challenge from Stamatellis. I think Neil Kuru might have known he was offside in any case from the ball forward. Brantman will regather it on halfway momentarily. Jonty Bush only finding Rocco Smith, who in turn just gives it straight back to Bush. Oh, possession changing hands frantically in the middle of the park. Our two sides who have struggled so far this season a bit with the midfield battle in that sort of second third of the pitch. Chris Lindsay just looking to slow the tempo down a little bit now. Not a bad touch that, I'll tell you what, from Jay McGowan. No options in front though, so they'll just recycle now with Stamatellis. Wide it goes to Gulisano. Into the channel for Umabachi. Cut back across the face, and the little flick on from Mason Fernandez. Well, full of confidence after his earlier goal. Jack Wachorski alert to it. Down quickly to keep the deficit at just the one. Wachorski's ball forward was, well, somewhere in between Neonkuru and Smythe. Comfortable for Chris Lindsay to pick up on, and Sutherland wants to get forwards rather quickly. McGowan cutting back across the face, and Parker Williams half clears momentarily. It's driven straight back in, and the flick on, acrobatic, stinging the palms of Jack Wachorski, who's able to gather it at the second attempt. I'll tell you what, Max Green was not far away from doubling his side's advantage at all. Leon Carew couldn't quite reel that one in. Here's Morich. Certainly looked the more controlled and measured in possession so far in this one, the away side. Well, perhaps curse of the commentator striking there as Stamatellis didn't quite have his radar calibrated. Long ball forwards in the direction of Max Green, all the way behind at the end. This, of course, one of 4 fixtures taking place this afternoon in the New South Wales National Premier League men's competition. Of course, Sydney Olympic playing host to Blacktown City at the moment. That one, Sydney Olympic currently leading by a goal to nil. Rockdale Illingdon also leading Wollongong by a goal to nil. And in the other match of the round, I believe, the Wanderers Academy playing host to Apia. That one still deadlocked at 0-0. Absolutely flying this season are the Wanderers Academy. Andrew Christensen has done some really great things down the F3. It's perhaps highlighted by the performance of some of their youngsters in their A-League match last night as well. Meanwhile, here's McGowan for Sutherland. Well, he's just got that one all wrong. Did well to fashion the chance for himself there, Jay McGowan. Twisting and turning and wrong footing the defenders to just open up his body a little bit too much. We mentioned, of course, the Wanderers' performance last night, but would be remiss of me not to mention the Mariners' performance, of course, in their F3 derby victory against their traditional rivals, the Newcastle Jets. Professional 3-1 victory up in Newcastle, keeping or ensuring that the premiership place in the A-League, the race for it, will run to the very, very final fixture. Mariners, of course, in the A-League have a deferred fixture this Wednesday night. That's Central Coast Stadium as they play host to Adelaide. Getting forwards here is Headley, who looks to have switched flanks with Don Neonkuru. He's won his side a corner here as well. Bailey Brantman will move across to take, so Might just look to swing this one right onto the head of, or right on top of, I should say, Nenad Vekic. It's a crowded 6-yard box. Delivery from Brantman is towards the back stick, in fact. Parker Williams just mistiming his jump somewhat. They're able to clear their lines in the end, Sutherland, but the ball forward from Gulisano, well, he was just about the furthest player forward. Everyone was behind the ball there. Defending in numbers, the Sharks. The Mariners continue to search for a way back into this one. An early goal to Mason Fernandez so far is the difference. Lucas Smythe found offside there. Stamatellis closed down by Lucas Smythe to the sound of great appreciation from his teammates and from those in the crowd here today at Plume Park as well. He does love to defend from the front, Lucas Smythe. Looking to do so, and he's forced a turnover again. Here's Brantman looking to glide into the area, and he's bundled off it. Well, in the end, I think the referee may have given the handball. Bailey Brantman looked like he was bundled off it. Referee deemed it to be a legal challenge. So on we go. Morich again looking to clip one in behind for McGowan. Rocco Smith doing enough to hold up Jay McGowan there, who's been lively this afternoon. Does bring great energy to this Sutherland side. The number 11, Jay McGowan. 2 goals to his name so far this season as well. In fact, makes him Sutherland's top goal scorer alongside Mason Fernandez, who just added his second earlier this afternoon. Here's Umabachi. Gulisano. Just to clip on in centrally. Andre Park's able to deal with it, but then the ricochet fell for Max Green. Parker Williams is going to find himself in the referee's notebook there. A little bit late, just left a little bit in on Max Green there, who's, well, he's certainly been in the wars so far today. Well, he protested his innocence, did Parker Williams, but hard to argue with that yellow card in all fairness. Max Green is up and about. He'll be fine to continue. And Sutherland's with another chance to whip something into a dangerous area here. Clipped into the central area towards Stamatellis, who rose highest. Well, in fact, the final touch is off a yellow shirt behind for a corner, so another chance from another set piece. I think it was, in fact, Andre Parks with the final touch on that one there. So just over 21 minutes gone here at Plume Park. Still Sutherland with that solitary goal advantage, courtesy of Mason Fernandez. Really very few clear-cut opportunities as this one is swung in oh so deep towards Umabachi, arriving late at that back stick. No one picked up the run. He's just driven that one into the side netting. Another warning shot fired across the bow from Sutherland. bit of a lapse in concentration perhaps there from Parks. He's got away with it under pressure from Fernandez and Max Green. It's going to come straight back at them. Bush looking for Fernandez. It's a well-timed sliding challenge. But the pass back to Andre Parks. Put him under a bit of needless pressure, in fairness. He's had to just hook that one out into touch. Across the back it goes again for Umabachi. Now, Stamatellis. Clipped wide. Kept in play just about, but falls favourably here for Tay Headley. He's got a chance to get forwards. Bailey Brantman, well, I think he just gave up the ghost there. Maybe knew he was offside, but really gave himself away at the same time as well. Bit of a frustrated flick at the ball from Bailey Brantman. Flag goes up and Stamatellis will stand over the free kick. A huge success for the Mariners in their earlier under-20s encounter here against Sutherland. That one finished 6-2 in favour of the hosts. Real glut of goals in the last 15 or so minutes of that one as well. Mariners did lead by 2-0 up until about the 65th minute and really just exploded into life, that one. We're only through about 25 minutes or so here at Clune Park for first grade, but I'm sure there's many will be hoping a similar sort of spark occurs soon in this one. Smith with the crossfield ball in the direction of Lucas Smythe. So often the target man. Taken off his toe by Gulisano, and then Umabachi, well, his clearance is straight to the feet of Shikluna. Now Tay Headley, one way and the other, back to Shikluna. Back with Tay Headley, maybe thought about the shot for a minute, but it closed down around him very quickly. McGowan is clipped on his way through. Referee Carl Davies just waiting to see how that one would play out. No advantage at the end of it. You can see in their forays forward so far, the Mariners really seem to just want to get it forward in those central areas and in the half spaces. They don't really want to play with a great amount of width. This one again goes into the sort of half space for Brantman, who just went a fraction of a second early again. Here's Stamatellis. Shikluna fighting for the second ball but couldn't quite recover it. Morich will, and Morich will eventually be dumped to the deck as well on his way through. Gulisano to deliver here for the Sharks. Only a couple of targets really in there to aim for. Stamatellis now is coming forward as well. We'll go towards Stamatellis. Well, in fact, it's going to go all too deep. Comfortable claim for Jack Wachorski. He wants to get things on the move quickly again. Neonkuru, who has again shifted flanks. Now playing back where he started the match on the far touchline. Shikluna. Now they look to go wide, the Mariners, with Brantman, who's one-on-one with Bush. Gets the better of Jonty Bush there as well. It's a good sliding challenge at the end of it, though, to take it away from Bailey Brantman. Shikluna picks up the scraps. Stamatellis says no thanks and sends that all the way back up the other end of the pitch for Jack Wachorski. Shikluna. Triangle just forming there between Shikluna, Parks and Parker Williams. And now Williams again into that half space. Dealt with by Umabachi. Flicked on by Green. Umabachi. It's his turn to look for the raking crossfield ball, and Rocco Smith just lost it for a second there. Claims for a penalty as Rocco Smith maybe just going through the back of Jay McGowan there. It looked at contact looks fairly negligible in fairness. Referee, I should say, my apologies. Get that out eventually. Carl Davies just waving McGowan back up. Lucas Smythe. Now Shikluna. Brantman. Looking to inject a little bit more energy here, Brantman. Slide rule ball for Lucas Smythe, who gets there and finishes! Bailey Brantman provider. Lucas Smythe, the goal scorer. His 8th of the season for Lucas Smythe, and we're one apiece. Well, it's not the first time Bailey Brantman's been provider for a Lucas Smythe goal so far this season. That was a wonderfully measured pass as well to get him in behind. Lucas Smythe, ice cold in just going around Nenad Vekic. And finishing cool as you like into an empty net. Through about half an hour or so here at Plume. Very much game on. Lindsay driven long. Giving, once again, McGowan something to chase. Wachorski off his line very quickly. Flat ball forward there from Jack Wachorski. Just over the head, I should say, of Lucas Smythe. Stamatellis able to pick that one up. Back with Katsuta. And that man again, Stamatellis. Gulisano wants to isolate Tay Headley, shifting one way and the other. Not sure how much Parker Williams knew about that delivery. He looked a little unsighted as the ball came in. End result, another Sutherland Sharks corner. This match so important for both sides. Of course, the Mariners, as it stands, currently 4 points behind Sutherland, as this is whipped in towards the near post. Flicked on by Stamatellis. Headed clear in the end. Back with Jonty Bush, who wants to send it straight back at them. Chris Lindsay has stayed forward. Left-footed in swinging delivery. Headed clear again by Williams. Neon Kuru keeping Lindsay honest. Bush. They just keep coming and coming here, the Sharks. Mariners able to clear their lines eventually through Lucas Shikluna. Just releasing that pressure valve and turning it into touch. Stamatellis. Forward it goes for Fernandez. Well, was perhaps in two minds there, Mason Fernandez. He had Max Green lurking with intent for the cutback. Opted to go for goal himself. Fairly routine save for Jack Wachorski. They can't hold the ball though, the Mariners. They've turned it over on halfway once again. Bush. Back with Vekic. Stamatellis and Jonty Bush again. Well, that's not bad feet either from the fullback. And again, it's curse of the commentator striking. Jonty Bush turning it over fairly cheaply. They'll have a straight back though, the Sharks, with Fernandez, and now Max Green. Moric, sliding challenge from Shikluna. Had to guess it right, and he's got it pretty much spot on in all fairness, Lucas Shikluna. He's been a mainstay in the engine room for the Mariners this season. Shikluna, the former Wolverhampton Wanderers Academy product. Fantastic strength once again from Lucas Smythe. Didn't quite have the passing accuracy to match though. It was a little bit ahead of Prayag Tapper. My apologies, Lucas Shikluna, who was in turn just a little bit late in his effort to regather the ball. Jonty Bush winning the free kick for the away side. They want to get things back on the move with a deal of urgency here, Sutherland. Menem winning the aerial duel over Gulisano. Stamatelis. Again, it's Tay Headley just closing down that passing lane. So we're looking to double up on this near touch line with Gulisano and Umabachi both in fairly advanced positions. They win the second ball again in midfield. Fernandez finding Bush, and now McGowan. Looking to stretch the Mariners again. That's a good slide rule ball in here for Fernandez. Cut back across the face for Katsuta. Blocked. Was driven with a great deal of ferocity from Kotaro Katsuta. It's quite a very good block, but Sutherland just keep coming and coming here as it's floated in towards Max Green, who rose highest, which is not an easy thing to do when you're up against the big frame of Parker Williams. Williams did just about enough to ensure that Max Green couldn't get any real sort of power or direction on the header. Rocco Smith. Again looking for Brandman. Again it's Jonty Bush sliding in. Stayed in play as well. Here's Max Green. Oh, well done, in fairness to young Rocco Smith. Halting the advance of Max Green. Didn't really have any support though. Again it goes into touch. Well, the Sharks may be smelling a bit of blood in the water as this one is hoisted in oh so deep. Flicked around the corner as well at the end of it. Going for the spectacular was Gulisano. Looking to hook that one over his shoulder. Didn't get the direction required though. Neonkuru tussling with Jonty Bush. Now Neonkuru has got pace to burn. Getting around the outside of Bush just about. Going down in the area as well. Referee, after a moment's consideration, Carl Davies has pointed to the spots. And once again, Don Neonkuru has won his side yet another penalty. We'll have to go back and check my notes, but I think that is penalty number 6 that he's won for the season. Now Neonkuru. Lucas Smythe is the regular penalty taker. And he's gone straight to pick up the ball. He's 5 from 5 so far. He scored the Mariners' equaliser just a few minutes ago. He's been presented with a very good chance here to put them ahead for the first time today. Well, words of encouragement from the experienced gloveman Nenad Vekic, encouraging his teammates to follow in. Bit of handbags on the edge of the area as well that Carl Davies is just giving a couple of players a bit of a ticking off for. Will it be Lucas Smythe? Saved by Vekic! And held as well. Lucas Smythe opting for placement rather than power, which is not his usual MO. And Nenad Vekic down smartly to his left to smother. Sutherland are on the charge, almost immediately straight back up the other end with Max Green. The flag was up, though, on this near touch line. Well, Lucas Smythe's perfect penalty record is finally breached. I'm sure he'll probably be the first to admit it's maybe not his finest. And so we remain at one apiece here at Plume. Neon Kuru, oh, wonderful turn to escape the attention of Bush. Now looking to drive forward. Well, he just holds it up and awaits the supporting cast, Neon Kuru. Again, a slide rule ball in behind here for Lucas Smythe. Takes it to the byline. Looking for the cutback. Well, he'll have the corner instead. Tay Headley and Harry Menem were both, I should say, lurking in that 6-yard area. Momentum perhaps just swinging in the way of the Mariners now. Their second corner of the match, this time Shikluna across to take. Brightman's lurking on the edge of the area. Will be an outswinger from Shikluna towards Andre Parks. Falls kindly for Andre Parks as well. Just wanted one touch too many, I think. Umabachi able to recover and clear. Parker Williams is fouled in transition there. Gulisano just a little too over-eager in his efforts to get forwards. Parker Williams happy to take the contact and take the foul. Neon Kuru. He's just injecting himself into the game a little bit more over the last 5 or 10 minutes here, Don Neon Kuru, which is perhaps what the Mariners need. Brantman. He's an absolute live wire. He won the penalty just moments ago. Mariners unable to convert. Wide it comes. The battle of the two number 5s there, and Menem and Umabachi. Eventually the free kick going the way of Sutherland. Lucas Smythe. No real sort of urgency to return the ball. Sutherland wants to get back on the move. Here's McGowan. Fascinating battle between he and Rocco Smith on that far touchline so far. Morich, now Umabachi, again looking to push and probe and stretch the Mariners. Might just fall kindly here for Fernandez. Just dragged it. Well, in fact, I think it's taken a touch on the way through. Indeed, yes, Sutherland will have another corner for their troubles. Mason Fernandez looking to return serve. This one over the last 5 or so minutes has just started creeping into life. About 5 or so minutes to go until half time here. Plenty of movement in the area as this one goes deep towards Umabachi. 2 or 3 Sutherland players rising there. No one really able to make any meaningful sorts of contact. I think the final touch, in fact, was off Chris Lindsay. Harry Menem just seemingly losing his bearings for a moment there. Closed down very quickly by Morich. Stamatellis. Good turn from Umabachi. And then back the other way as well. He wants the free kick. Carl Davies says nothing doing, and now Lucas Smythe. Neon Kuru supporting is Shikluna, who just left the ball behind and then gives away the free kick as well against Katsuta. Fernandez. McGowan now. Here is Kotaro Katsuta. Good looking ball for McGowan as well. Cut back across the face for Green. Max Green now adds his second for the season. The Sharks' second of the day. And they restore their 1-goal advantage here at Plume. It has been very much punch and counter punch for the opening 43 or so minutes here at Plume. And the Mariners' defence seemingly all at sea once again. Now 2 in 2 weeks for Max Green. How will the Mariners respond? They had the chance to go ahead from the spot just some 10 or so minutes ago as well. Couldn't convert, and now they find themselves behind again. Andre Parks under some pressure there from Gulisano. Parks able to dig it out eventually. Smith, Neonkuru. Good ball from Neonkuru to find Lucas Mine! Immediately, the Mariners return serve. Well, this one has certainly got some life left in it yet. Lucas Smythe adding his second of the day, shaking off the disappointment of missing from the spot just moments ago. Wonderful ball again from Don Neonkuru. This time it's the Sharks' defence to be at 6s and 7s. It's an interesting sort of defensive line playing Lucas Smythe on side. In fairness, he did time his run to perfection as well. We certainly have a game on our hands here at Plume. Here's Smith, Neonkuru. Just a bit too much contact there from Rocco Smith as he tried to regather the ball. Stamatellis will have it back through the regulation 45 here at Plume. We're going to have 2 minutes of time added on. Bush and now McGowan. Sutherland wants a return serve immediately now. Mariners able to hook it clear. It's going to come straight back at them. Bush and McGowan again linking up. Unable to advance past Neonkuru, now not shirking his defensive duties. Gulisano. The strike at the end of it as well, I'll tell you what, from Morich. Had Jack Wachowski half interested. Had a quick look and was confident that he had his angles right at the end of it. Wachowski in no real hurry to retrieve the ball. Happy to just soak up the last remaining seconds of added time in the first stanza of this one. Of course, a draw really doesn't do much good for either side. As we said earlier, the Mariners still 4 points behind Sutherland. They are propping up Sutherland, the Mariners themselves, on the foot of the table. A win today would certainly bring them much closer to avoiding the dreaded automatic drop. Lucas Smythe. Well, in the end, Sutherland able to dig it out. Neonkuru stayed down in the area, mind you. Shikluna trying to retrieve it. Too forceful for the referee's liking. And, well, Carl Davies is just going to come over here and check on the well-being of Don Neonkuru, who is still down on the deck. Referee Carl Davies has blown for full time in any case. Will allow the Mariners physio staff to come on and give Don Neonkuru some treatment before heading to the sheds. But through the first stanza of this one here at Plume. It did take a little while for it to really spring into life. Of course, it was the early goal from Mason Fernandez, scoring in about the 4th minute. Lucas Smythe pulling one back for the Mariners. Mariners then went to the spot with a chance to go ahead. Saved very well by Nenad Vekic. Max Green gave the Sharks the lead for the 2nd time this afternoon, but they were pegged back immediately by that man again, Lucas Smythe, adding his 9th of the season and leaving us all locked up in 2 apiece. We're off for a short break here on the Football New South Wales YouTube channels. Make sure that you join us for the second stanza in just under 15 or so minutes' time. A very warm welcome back to the Central Coast here at Plume Park for this round 12 fixture between the Central Coast Mariners Academy and Sutherland Sharks. The temperature has certainly dropped a few degrees, but as the sun sets, the action is sure to heat up here for the second stanza of this one. Currently locked at 2 apiece. Goals in the first half to Mason Fernandez and Max Green for Sutherland. Pegged back each time by the Mariners number 10 and their top goal scorer so far this season, Lucas Smythe. 45 minutes ahead of us here to see if we can find a winner. The Mariners to get us back underway for the second stanza, kicking from left to right on your screens. Looks like a change at half-time for the Mariners. Michael Paragalli will operate it right back. Rocco Smith looks to have taken his leave for the afternoon. We did see Don Neonkuru down prone on the turf right at the end of the second half. He is back out and about, which is very good news indeed for the Mariners. Of course, he won a penalty and set up the Mariners' second equaliser. Dispatched coolly by Lucas Smythe, who is in behind here, but he's offside. The shot at the end of it was off target in any case. That point rendered moot by the official's flag on this near touchline. Doesn't look like any changes at the interval for Sutherland. We'll bring you exact confirmation on that one shortly. Stamatellis just a little too eager to get things back on the move. Being marched back by Carl Davies. Making sure that the spot was set just so. And eventually, well, maybe that's miscalibrated or misguided his radar. Crossfield ball in the direction of McGowan, who's been dangerous this afternoon. Over the head of McGowan, and now the Mariners look to play their way out. That's neat interplay between Paragalli and Brantman. Paragalli, who's gone down in a heap there after the contact from Matthew Murrich, was certainly late. Carl Davies just waited to see if any advantage would ensue. It did not. Once again, the Mariners under heavy pressure, looking to play their way out, but turning it over. Jonty Bush will pick it up. Exchanging passes once again with McGowan. Brantman takes it off the toe of Bush, and they want to get forward immediately here, the Mariners, with Neonkuru. Well, that advance is once again halted by the official's flag. Often trying to get in behind that reasonably high line offered by Sutherland. Often just going a couple of seconds early. Experienced at centre half, of course, with Mitchell Stamatellis marshalling that defensive line for Sutherland. Here is Stamatellis. Central this time for Katsuta. McGowan, former St George FC man, returning to Katsuta. Hooked in high and deep towards Green. Able to bring it out of the sky. Umabachi looks to deliver straight into the body of his opposite, number 5, though, in Harry Menem. Gulisano. the way back it will go to Jonty Bush again. McGowan looking for the return pass as well. McGowan, it might just stay in play here. It does indeed. The spin on the clipped ball forward there from Kotaro Katsuta, working out to great effect. Paragalli tracked McGowan all the way. Forced to put it behind for a corner though. So Gulisano across to take. Stamatelis rapidly moving in the area. Nearly found him as well. Mariners able to clear their line initially. Going straight back at them in the form of Gulisano though. And now McGowan, who's bundled off it again by Paragalli. Gulisano thought about the quick free kick. Bailey Brantman was across to prevent that one. Lindsay and Gulisano both standing over this one. Well, Chris Lindsay's left it. In swinging delivery to come from Gulisano, hung up towards the back stick. Mess of bodies rising. One of who was Max Green. Evaded just about everyone in the end. And Jonty Bush will trust his goalkeeper's feet here. Nenad Vekic now looking to show off his range of passing, only succeeding in finding Paragalli though. Paragalli wins the third ball. And now the fourth and fifth ball as well. Parks. Hurried clearance rather. Kept in play by Umabachi. Again, they'll go all the way back to their custodian, Nenad Vekic. Tussle of the twos here between Katsuta and Paragalli. Paragalli, I should say, getting the better of that one. Menem trying to evade the attention of Gulisano. He's done well as well, Harry Menem. That's Tay Headley carrying forwards. Lucas Smythe always had one eye on the linesman on this near touch line. I think he knew he was offside there, Lucas Smythe. Referee Carl Davies not needing to wait for the flag to go up either before giving the offside. Katsuta. McGowan wants it on this near touchline. He's got acres of space. Paragalli's realised that, and he'll come across to look to close down some of that space. He had to as well. Did so to great effect there, Michael Paragalli. Former Canberra product making his way up to the coast this season, Michael Paragalli. Prayag Tapa winning that duel there as well. Katsuta will pick it back up for the Shark zone. Now Stamatelis. Gulisano couldn't quite dig it out, but he'll get a second go at it here. Floats it in towards the head of Green. Over the head of Green in the end it goes. Leon Kuru winning the duel against Moric. Finding Bailey Brantman now as well. Lucas Smythe deciding to hold his run. It falls kindly for Lucas Shikluna! A captain's knock from Lucas Shikluna puts the Mariners into the lead for the first time this afternoon here at Plume. Cool as you like as he bore down on goal, picking his spot and dispatching with expert precision past Nenad Vekic, who could do little about it. And you could see from the celebrations just how much that means to him. The Mariners draw first blood in the second stanza here at Plume. They do now lead by 3 goals to 2. Well, that's Shikluna's second goal of the season as well. His first one was rather spectacular, I think it's fair to say. That was also in the Mariners' last game here at Bloom Park, back on the 20th of March, nearly 6 weeks ago. In that thriller against the Wanderers. The Wanderers ended up running away with it in the end, but the Mariners certainly didn't make it easy for them. Stamatellis gets it back underway. Menem recovers. Takes it off the toe of Gulisano. Menem again. Picked up by Umebachi though. In towards Green. Half cleared as far as Shikluna, the latest goal scorer. They can't clear their lines though, the Mariners, and Parker Williams has gone lunging in there. And he's timed it to perfection, according to referee Carl Davies. Got a very good chunk of ball. There, Parker Davies. He's seemingly unhappy with himself. Whether that was for the challenge or something else afterwards, I'm not too sure, but it's displaying a couple of signs of frustration there, Parker Williams. And slotting into the starting 11 for the first time today is Williams, as we said, picked up a bit of an injury in his very first game in pre-season. He's been slowly rehabbing, making his first grade debut today. Here's Matthew Morich, evading the attention of Shikluna. Across the back it will come for Jonty Bush. Don Neonkuru just keeping him honest, all the way back with Vekic. Who wants to go long this time? Gulisano again, Menem is touch tight. They'll recycle with Umebachi, who goes forward immediately, looking to get one in behind for Max Green. Andre Parks did enough. Winning the aerial duel there and just nodding that one back to Jack Wachorski. Wachorski going long this time, flicked on by Smythe, who's hoping for the run of Tay Headley. He'll have it back though, Lucas Smythe. And this time does look to release Tay Headley on that far touchline. Flag went up very quickly. Lucas Smythe delayed the pass. And now a few complaints from the travelling contingent as Bailey Brantman was, well, let's give him the benefit of the doubt and say that maybe he was looking to return the ball. We do get back underway eventually. Vekic going long. Paragalli and again McGowan. It's going to continue to be a fascinating battle in the second stanza between Paragalli and McGowan. Jonty Bush gets us back underway. In back play, there's been a bit of a conversation occurring between Mitchell Stamatellis and the official on this near touch line. I think is Lindsay Edmonds. Meanwhile, McGowan driving his cross straight into the legs of Neonkuru. Brantman will rise to head clear, and Prayag Tupper will have his legs collected on the way through as well. Brantman wants to get things back on the move. Does it a roundabout sort of way, and Neonkuru Smythe's in behind again. Feels the contact from the Vekic. Referee Carl Davies immediately to his pockets. Denial of an obvious goal-scoring opportunity, and Nenad Vekic sees red here at Bloom. It was, again, Don Neonkuru's pass, causing all sorts of trouble for Sutherland's back four. And protest he might, but then Nenad Vekic will have to go. Yellow cards for the afters there as well. Brandished, I think, in the direction of Mitchell Stamatellis. Well, Lucas Smythe has given Sutherland's defence no end of headaches this afternoon. 2 goals to his name. He looked to bear down on goal there and add a third. Nenad Vekic had to make a decision. The decision involved a bit of a trailing leg there. And Sutherland's now with a mountain to climb for the final 30 or so minutes here at Plume. Stamatellis and Lucas Smythe are continuing their set 2. Vekic still hasn't left the fields. Eventually seeming to accept his fate here, Nenad Vekic, making the long walk back to the away change rooms. We'll just see, of course, Sutherland will need to sacrifice one of their outfield players. Yet to be confirmed exactly who that will be. Meanwhile, I've had a bit of a confirmation that it was indeed actually Bailey Brantman who's picked up the yellow cards in the ensuing handbags after Vekic saw red. Now, we don't mind a drama-filled afternoon here at Plume Park. Plenty of goals so far in this one. Now a red card for good measure. I'm not sure if the fourth official realises that his board is actually upside down. Upside down, inside out, wrong way round. In any case, it looks like it's Samuel Gulisano who's taken his leave for the afternoon. I'll have to get you confirmation on that one, though. Looks like Jordan Roberts has entered the field of play as well. When we do get back underway, will be Shikluna and Brantman both standing over the ensuing free kick. Brantman's delivery, early test for the deputy gloveman. Fairly regulation take that as well. Levi Shiriaga has come on up top as well amongst all of the substitutions there. And now Sutherland's on the march forward, looking for the equaliser. It's Matthew Morich. Parker Williams able to deal with that threat just about. It's another tester for the young gloveman here. Playing a very high line. Once again, Mariners looking to go long in the direction of Don Neon-Kuru. Headed clear, but only as far as Bailey Brantman. Twisting and turning and awaiting an opening, using the supporting cast in the form of Prayag Tapa. Parks. Parker Williams now. Well, everyone behind the ball here for Sutherland. Bailey Brantman urging for a bit more movement in front. An uncharacteristic loose touch there from Shikluna, though. Stamatellis able to take it away, and Stamatellis has continued his run forward. Here's Shiriaga, not far away. They're certainly going to have their work cut out for them, Sutherland, if they are to get anything out of this one. They do find themselves, of course, a goal down and a player down after Nenad Vekic's red card just moments ago. 25 or so minutes to play, plus any time added on here at Plume, of which I'm sure there will be quite some amount. Bailey Brantman looking to pick up the second ball and does so. Shikluna. Paragalli on a foray forwards. Just choosing to play the high percentage pass there. Shikluna, Williams and Parks now. So it looks like we did have a late change to the Sutherland team sheet, in fact, which I've just been trying to decipher myself. Originally, Jacob Kremen-Cowan was the reserve goalkeeper, but I've just been told, in fact, it's Dean Plessis, who was on the bench for their under-20s fixture as well. He's come on after the departure of Nenad Vekic. I've also just been informed by the match commissioner here that Jacob Kremen-Cowan actually picked up a concussion at the end of the under-20s game. Hence the late change to that team sheet, and Plessis has a bit of a puzzle to figure out there, and he's found Bailey Brantman for the Mariners. Shifts onto his left, still going here, Brantman, sizing up the opportunity, eventually pulls the trigger. Maybe just delayed a little too long, maybe got inside his own head a little bit there. No real threat on Dean Plessis' goal in the end. Mariners, of course, have options on the bench of their own. Just the one change so far in this one for the hosts. As we said, Rocco Smith departing at half-time. Michael Paragalli taking his place at right back. Defensive options in the form of Cherdang, and of course attacking outlets in the form of Jordan Small and Adam Hall, and of course Nico Duarte, who is yet to make his first appearance of the season following his rehab from injury. Went under the knife, as he described it, a bit of a tune-up. But it will be Sutherland to go to their bench before all that. And that will see the departure of Matthew Morich on in his place. Number 27, of course, in Matthew Jackson. Well, they're not going to die wondering here, the Sharks. As Wachowski clips this one out to Paragalli. Neonkuru. Doubling up on this near touchline are the Mariners. Neonkuru finding Paragalli. First time ball towards Smythe. Might just fall kindly. Well, it did, but unable to force their way through. And Sutherland wants a hit back immediately. Fernandez. First time ball for Shiriaga. My apologies. Brantman couldn't quite win it back, but Shikluna does to great effect. Well-timed sliding challenge, and the Mariners are 3-on-3 here if they're quick enough. Smythe, Neonkuru, shifting onto his left. Stamatellis able to delay. and delayed for just long enough. And now Stamatzelis taking matters into his own hands as he carries that forwards. Finding McGowan. Stamatzelis wanted the return pass as well as he moved into the half space there. Maybe just ran out of gas a little bit there, Mitchell Stamatzelis. Maybe a bit of altitude sickness. Not quite used to being up that high up the pitch, perhaps. Mariners, well, they just want to keep the ball, just maintain possession, just manage this one out. It's only the second time all season that they've actually been in the leads. Paragalli again looking to get one in behind for Lucas Smythe. He's got two right in his back here, Lucas Smythe. Rides the challenge of both of them, retains possession as well, and he'll win aside a corner off the legs of Jonty Bush. Well, as we said, Luca Smythe has been causing no end of headaches for the Sutherland defence. 2 goals. Also, it was his run through one-on-one with Vekic that saw the red card for Vekic. He and Neon Kuru have probably been 2 of the best on ground for the Mariners so far this afternoon, as they perhaps look to add a 4th from this set piece. A variation on the corner here for Neon Kuru. Gives it back to Brantman to work an alternate angle. Tapper. Clipped in towards Smythe. I'll tell you what, it's not far away from his hat-trick there, Lucas Smythe. Certainly had Dean Plessis interested. Just falling on the roof of the net in the end. Paragalli again winning the aerial duel. Mariners have meanwhile gone to the bench. Adam Hall has come on from the looks of things. Well, they snuck that one on. Looks like Tay Headley's taken his leave for the afternoon. Just having a look at the replay on that one there as Shikluna just gets some running repairs. Looked innocuous enough. Just giving both sets of players a chance to take some fluids on board. The Mariners receiving some further instruction from their head coach Lucas Villela as he looks to go to his bench once again as well. We await exact confirmation of who's coming on. It looks like Jordan Small will enter the contest. Don Neonkuru will take his leave for the afternoon. Sparkling performance from the Mariners' number 11. Of course, won a penalty in the first half, assisted the Mariners' second goal as well. The other change we'll see the introduction for the first time this season of Nico Duarte, who is warmly welcomed by the Mariners fans, who I'm sure are also sounding their appreciation for the performance of Lucas Smythe. Who's been very good up top for the Mariners this afternoon. Parks getting there just a fraction of a second ahead of McGowan. Shikluna looking to release Duarte immediately. It's going to be fascinating a fascinating battle, I should say, between he and Stamatellis. And Stamatellis might have just lashed out a little bit there at Duarte. We go on here with Jordan Small, who looks to get the shot away, pulling it back across the face in the direction of Tapa. Couldn't quite reach it. Shioriaga. And now Katsuta. Harry Medham arriving first on the scene. And now Carl Davies is just going to come back and have a word here to Mitchell Stamatellis and Nico Duarte. Well, just a yellow card for Stamatellis and one for Duarte as well for good measure. Much to the chagrin of those in yellow and navy around here. And at the end of all the chaos, we'll have another Sutherland corner. Chris Lindsay across to take. That's all smiles and handshakes between Stamatellis and Duarte at the end of it. Shikluna heading half clear. Comes straight back in at the Mariners' defence, but Andre Parks sending it forwards. As Brantman looks to release Adam Hall, and once again that flag is up on this near touch line. Well, they've made it work for them 3 times so far this afternoon, getting in behind that high line. Have the Mariners. It's Sutherland's turn to try and work one forwards. Tapa and Parks combining to win it back for the hosts. Parker Williams. Well, it evades just about everybody in the end. Stamatellis did just about enough to put Duarte off. Jonty Bush. Now Lindsay to switch it out to the far touchline. Clipped in towards McGowan again. Wachorski was alert to the danger, quickly off his line. He's looked extremely dangerous this afternoon. Jay McGowan, as we said, 2 goals so far to his name this season following his switch from St George. 11 goals in all competitions last season for the Saints in the Football New South Wales League One men's. Once again, that flag goes up on this near touch line. Of course, McGowan, he made that mid-season switch last year from St George FC to Sutherland. Key re-signing for the Sharks this season. Here's Jonty Bush. Dumped off it rather unceremoniously from Brantman, and Jordan Small will find himself in the referee's notebook for just delaying the restart there. Katsuta. Shioriaga. So isolate his fullback, but Paragalli is quickly helped out by Small, and then Tapa as well. Well, the Mariners are absolutely adamant that should be a goal kick. Sutherland more than happy to take the resulting corner. Katsuta across to take. In fact, he'll just leave it for Chris Lindsay. Perhaps not the best delivery, that one from Chris Lindsay. Nico Duarte, with that bandaged head there, able to nod that one clear. Here he is, Katsuta. McGowan has drifted centrally. Now Fernandez is playing much deeper this half. Sliding challenge on Matthew Jackson there. Again, yet another corner for the Sharks. That corner count really, really mounting up now. Headed clear again by Duarte. Shikluna was looking to drive it forward even further, but it's cannons off the legs for Sharks midfielder there, and all the way behind for nothing but a goal kick at the end of it. The only other change remaining on the Mariners bench is Sherdang, the centre half. The combination of Andre Parks and Parker Williams preferred today. Sherdang did miss a couple of weeks due to concussion as well. Protocol being enforced after his head clash down at Valentine Sports Park a few weeks ago with Ziggy Gordon. Certainly saw Ziggy Gordon come off the worst for the wear in that one. Meanwhile, the Sharks are still trying to peg back that single goal deficit as this one is swung in. Tapper's head gets there first, fizzed back in towards goal, and the Sharks are screaming for a corner. Carl Davies says, not this time. Well, another change here for the Sharks. Jonty Bush will take his leave for the afternoon. Another fairly attacking change here as well. Jordan Grayarowski entering the contest for the first time this afternoon. Who immediately looks to go and partner Shiuriaga up top. Well, Nico Duarte, not afraid of putting himself about. He's conceded the free kick just in front of halfway. And perhaps just a clash of heads between he and Chris Lindsay. Could delay the restart here. Well, no, Lindsay just wants to get on with it now, which they do. McGowan, Nico Duarte immediately hassling and harassing Lindsay, who's able to maintain his composure. Clearance only as far as Paragalli. Parks all the way back to Wachorski. Parker Williams wants to carry it forward from centre half. Works out kindly as well, finding Shikluna. Paragalli. Mariners just increasing the tempo a bit here as Duarte looks to hook one out to the back stick. Adam Hall was arriving late. Dealt with in the end. Back with Dean Plessis. It will come straight back at Dean Plessis as well. Shiuriaga. In fact, my apologies, that was Jackson with the flick on there in the direction of Grayarowski, who's been in fine form for the 20s this season as well. As Grayarowski, 5 goals to his name so far. Duarte, meanwhile, looking to play one in behind for Small, spilt by Plessis. Sutherland able to get away with it though. McGowan back with Plessis again, a bit of a loose touch, nearly inviting Bailey Brantman onto the end of that one. He's able to regather it and just hook it into touch in the end. Prayag Tapa just leaving it for Paragalli. Paragalli. Square ball for Shikluna. Wants to get forward, but just a little bit lazy in the pass, just swinging a big left boot at it. In the end, no real direction. Sutherland will have it back on the near touchline with McGowan. Central it goes for Umabachi. Now Stamatellis. Turned over once again though. Brantman able to steal in. The move once again breaking down. McGowan. Back with Lindsay. McGowan again. Stamatellis. Into the channel it goes for Grarowski. Looking to twist and turn away from the attention of Parker Williams. Umabachi. Driven into the legs of Harry Menem. Well, Sutherland absolutely adamant that it was into the hand of Harry Menem. Behind it goes for a corner in any case. We'll see if we can get a look at that one on the monitor here at Plume Park before Lindsay swings this corner in. Well, it did look like it was into the leg. In any case, corner swung in centrally. Stamatellis gets to it first. It's pinballing around everywhere. Fernandez. A look to reload. Stamatellis again rising. Paragalli clearing. The Mariners' goal withstanding yet another raid by the Sharks. Grarowski again one-on-one with Parker Williams. This time it is Parker Williams who gets the better of that duel. He'll win the free kick as well. Time ticking away in this one. The Mariners want to go to their bench once more. Cherdeng being readied. As we await confirmation of who it is that will actually make way for Cherdeng. Prayag Tapa, it is the central midfielder indeed. So Cherdeng. It'll be interesting to see if this is going to involve a tactical tweak as well from Lucas Villela, whether Deng will indeed just fill the spot vacated by Prayag Tapa. Usually deployed as a centre half is Cherdeng. Does indeed look like he's going to play a bit further forward to see this one out. Menem, Shikluna. Again, Grarowski, touch tight to Shikluna, not giving him an inch. He's done well enough. Well, I was about to say he's done well enough to win his side the throw-in. In fact, throw-in eventually going the way of the hosts. Thrown away rather though, Stamatellis. Clips forwards. Cherdeng racing after this one in a foot race with Grarowski. Wachowski in the end finding Small. Brantman. It's just a loose pass from Bailey Brantman though. Was looking for Paragalli. Instead he's found his opposite number 2 and it's a wicked teasing delivery. Jack Wachowski had his angles absolutely spot on. Getting there just ahead of the on-rushing Shiriaga. Now, Small. Brings that one out of the sky. Still going here, Small. Paragalli now who's come forward and, well, it's a ball and all challenge from Jay McGowan. Mariners making their voices heard, but just a good old school footballing challenge that. Stamatellis. Lindsay. McGowan. Again, looking to get one in behind. 3 in the area to aim for. Jordan Grarowski opted to go himself on the turn. Took a touch on the way through to Jack Wachorski as well, which took most of the heat out of it. Well, it looks like the Mariners have indeed gone to 3 centre halves, perhaps, as Cher Deng playing at the heart of that 3 alongside Andre Parks and Parker Williams. Paragalli still operating on the right, and he's going to have some defending to do here, Paragalli. 1-on-1 with McGowan. Paragalli does well, wins the challenge, but concedes the throw-in. The linesperson on this near touchline did originally give the throw in the way of the Mariners. Carl Davies gave it the way of Sutherland. In any case, Jordan Small gets there first and puts a bit of snow on that one. Stamatellis fizzed in at the feet of McGowan. Once again, 1-on-1 with Small. Drifting in fields. Bailey Brantman takes it off his toe, though. Through the regulation 90 minutes here at Plume Park. McGowan, Cher Deng stepping forward to great effect to win that back. It's going to come straight back at them, though, as it's clipped in towards the head of Shiriaga. Headed clear by Paragalli. And eventually, Carl Davies has called a halt to proceedings there. Cher Deng and Jay McGowan have remained down on the turf. Chris Lindsay expressing his frustration to the official on this near touchline. Cher Deng is back up and about, albeit very gingerly. Jay McGowan is now as well, so good signs for both sides. But they will both have to leave the field of play, having received some treatment. So, Sutherland's temporarily down to 9. The Mariners temporarily down to 10. And I'm sure all of this time will, of course, be added on as well. Mariners get us underway from the restart. Small. Now Brantman. Looks to isolate Chris Lindsay. Twisting and turning, cutting back across the face and evading everyone. The ball across the face from Bailey Brantman. Jordan Small looking to hold up the counter-attack. Grarowski couldn't quite win it ahead of Parks, and now Shikluna. Well, anywhere will do. We're still 10 apiece here as Cher Deng looks like he's going to be unable to return to the field of play. Meanwhile, Jackson, his cross is again defended behind for another corner by Paragalli. Taken quickly, Wachorski rising and claiming. Well, this one might just finish with 10 apiece. Just wait and see if Cher Deng does rejoin the fray. He does indeed. Not exactly moving entirely freely, but the Mariners just need bodies out there at the moment. As they continue to repel raid after raid. Stamatellis. In behind it goes for Grarowski. The clearance from Paragalli into the legs of Grarowski could have just about gone anywhere. Wachorski happy to delay and pick it up at the very last available opportunity. And Cherdang, well, it may be a bridge too far for him to be able to continue in this one. Came on as a late substitute for Prayag Thapa. Was in fact the Mariners' final change of the afternoon as well, so the Mariners are going to have to see this one out with 10 players themselves as well. Of course, Sutherland were reduced to 10 themselves after the red card to Nenad Vekic earlier in the second stanza. So we're going to finish with 10 apiece as Sutherland go on in search of that equaliser. Meanwhile, Hall nodding it forwards, only as far as Stamatellis. Umibachi. Building nicely this from the Sharks. And the move broke down just as quickly as it began. A very good challenge, well timed from Parker Williams. Now Nico Duarte looking to ride the challenge of Chris Lindsay. And you could just about feel the earth shake as those two hit the ground. Very audible thud as Lindsay and Duarte collided. End result, a free kick for the Mariners, which Andre Parks will once again look to hook long. And just for a moment there, I thought Adam Hall might have got him behind as it bounced over the head of Stamatellis. But on we go. Shioriaga. Katsuta. Well, looking for Jackson, but only finding touch, and Harry Menem will be in absolutely no hurry to take the resulting throw in. You can't look away for a second. Stamatellis couldn't quite retain possession, just running out of real estate on that far touchline, and the Mariners will just take the yards gained. Another throw on that far touchline. Riding the challenge on the far touchline, Brantman, and now Nico Duarte will have a bit of room to operate in here as well, Duarte, and maybe look to add a fourth. Cut back across the face for Hall. Good save from Plessis. It had to be as well, but that will be that here at Bloom Park. An absolute ding-dong affair between these two sides. You can see from the celebrations in the middle of the park just what that means to this young side. Their second win of the season here at Plume Park. And the players very quick to go and congratulate the match winner and their captain, Lucas Shikluna. It's fair to say, no less than the Mariners deserved after 6 weeks on the road, returning home here today with a bang. Goals in the first half to Sutherland from Mason Fernandez and Max Green. They were cancelled out by a double to Lucas Smythe. Nenad Vekic picked himself up a red card for his troubles. Lucas Shikluna was the match winner on the day here. Very good performance by he and Lucas Smythe and Don Neonkuru, seeing 3 points on the coast once again. The Mariners, of course, travel down to Wollongong next week. Back on the road once more. Sutherland return home to face Rockdale Illingdon. It's been an absolute pleasure having your company this afternoon here on the Football New South Wales YouTube channel, Zoe. But from all of us here, it's bye for now.